Hello everyone, this is Shokora Zouheikyoku aka chocomint, and welcome back to Celestia. In the last playthrough, we have just given Solis a little bit more time to answer to our potential proposal for him to become our sky. And we came through across Prince account and Vale doing something, playing a game. Now we will continue that game after that last cliffhanger. So, let's continue. I don't think I could sway Prince Hell if I try. Do you really need my assistance? Nah. Not going to happen. You're on your own, my dear friend. I can't believe you would betray me like this. A smile flickers across Sekhao's face at our chest. He pauses for a moment, glancing between Vale, me, and the game. Your Grace, would you like to join us? I smile brightly, unsure of how to play but touched to be invited. I would, thank you very much. I see a true plan now. You're forming an alliance with His Highness. That's absolutely what you came here for in the first place, isn't it, Dove? I grin, rolling my eyes. Yes, you're certainly figuring out my master plan, Vale. Vale shrugs nonchalantly. Is a gift? I sit down between them. The board is checkered in red and black. Circular discs of the same color spread across the squares. It looks familiar. I've observed humans playing this. I've always wanted to learn it. It's quite alright if you like to play. This isn't the traditional way of playing, so we can have 3 people. What's it called though? No idea. We're making up the rules on the fly. More like you're making up the rules on the fly, I'll bet. Sekhao seems undisturbed, which I'll find surprising if not for the fact that there doesn't seem to be much that can shake him. Alright, tell me how to play. For this one, you'll be the referee, but you can take my place in the next round. If you see anything out of line or cheating, you take 1 of our pieces. I see. How do I know what's wrong? Vale gives me a devious smile. Easy. Any move that looks like I'm losing? Wrong. I shoot Vale a look, but he only grins at me cheekily. Even somber Sekhao's looks amused in his silence. And with that, the game begins. It occurs to me that this is a great time to make some conversation while we're all relaxed and idle. As I am thinking of what to say, Prince Sekhao surprises me by beginning the conversation first. You spend much time with Solis lately. It seems you do suit each other. He sounds surprisingly pleased at this. Oh, hello, Windman Sekhao. You're doing a great job as a windman. I'd like to say so, yes. Vale looks up at me, a teasing smile on his lips. Trouble in paradise? Is it that obvious? Completely. From the look on your face, I can tell something happened between you two recently. Can I? I expected this from Vale, but hearing it from Sekhao makes things feel even more real than they already do. Blushing, I watch as Vale gets rid of 1 of Sekhao's pieces. As referee, I take it off the board. I told him I was interested in getting to know him better. Belle looks up at me steadily, concern in his voice. And were you, rejected? Zouheikyoku's brows scrunch together. As he hesitates, he makes a safe move on the board, while Vale follows up with something a little riskier. I wasn't, no. At least I don't think so. He didn't give me an answer yet. If he says he'll give you an answer, then knowing Solis, that is precisely what he would do. Are you perhaps nervous that you'll be rejected? Of course that's a factor, but more than that, I hate to sound vulnerable, but I can't help but ask the question on my lips. Do you think he's just delaying? That he's just avoiding letting me down? He wouldn't dare. Why not? Easy. Then I'll have to destroy him for leading you on. Vale's flat reply makes me laugh. Thank you both. I think I am just being a little silly. Emotions are never silly. I've got to agree with the prince though. I may not like Solis, but I can admit that he is the type to be on the straight and narrow. I don't think you have to worry about someone else catching his eye. Precisely what I was thinking. Vale lays a heavy hand on my shoulder. Might have to wait another century, but if you need me to break his kneecaps, let me know. Thanks, Vale, you're a good friend. Though I'd rather not have anyone breaking someone's kneecaps. Waking up is a small journey in itself. I hear the sound of light knocking at the door. At first, I don't register the sound, but the moment I do, I call out. Who is it? It's Vale. Vale? I quickly pull on some clothes, then pull open the door. You might want to put on something nicer. And you... I yawn crankily. You might want to stop talking. To yourself, but I don't say I didn't warn you. Bring in the prisoner. Prisoner? Is Vale really going to store his bounty here? Zouheikyoku walks in the room with a telltale. Red-suited man slung over her shoulder, his wrist tied behind him. Guys? This is considered kidnapping, Kidnapping. What in the great cosmos have you done? On an intervention. You're welcome. I'm not thanking you. Untie him at once. You can take care of that, can't you? And anyway, there's no point in asking for more favors. You already owe me one after all. Balam Dexter, and you broke Prince Zouheikyoku and on the stew? The prince isn't in robes. That's Lord Solis. Oh man. Once I glared at him as Zouheikyoku lays a swarming Solis on the ground. He shrugs. It seemed like it'll be amusing. Well, our job is done. You two kids talk out your feelings now. And remember, you owe me one, Iluna. The whirlwind that is my friend leaves with the silent form of Zouheikyoku trailing behind him. I rush to untie Solis as quickly as I can. This is lovely wingman. Honestly, the moment he realizes we're alone, Solis rolls over to wait patiently for me to let him loose. Saying that I owe him one. I pull the cloth bath from off Solis' hand. I am so sorry about this. I've always known that Vale is quite a ruffian when he wants to be. I never thought he'll go this far. I untied a gag around his mouth. So, am I to assume you have nothing to do with this? Please assume it. Well, I suppose I should take advantage of this position. Shall I answer your petition now? I once. You know, you really don't have to answer me now. Or ever. Nearly ever. What if I want to answer you? I can already imagine the clinical way he will break off all relationship. I once again as I moved behind Solis to untie his hands. Really, lost Solis, there's no need. In fact, Elena. I freeze in place, my hands still working on his knotted hands. My eyes stick to his back. Can you stay like this? Just for a moment? Slowly, I pull my hands away. I think he'll face me, but he stays still. I don't want you to see my face when I say this. There is a part of me that is scared to accept your invitation. I want to accept it, but I am worried that I will disappoint you. I have never felt that way in my entire life. Tell me, Your Grace, should I be this afraid to love? I don't know if I've ever had these feelings for someone before. I wouldn't remember. I am unsure of what a future for us would hold anyway. I see. He pauses for a long moment. Shall we be unsure together, then? Solis? I'm not sure if I'm ready to bring my son to your sky, but I would love to get to know you. I cannot deny that I care for you, that I have cared for you for some time now, and that, that imagine 100 years without you in my line of vision will feel much worse than these roads ever will. I loosen the final rope, his hands finally free. Solis, may I see your face now? Oh, I'll refer you not. I sigh audibly. It's not as if I haven't seen him blush before. Then you are unfair. He turns suddenly. Who is? You. You cannot be ignorant of how you make me feel, of how much I wanted to hear you say you care for me too. I never cared for the ceremony as much as the celestial it would bind me to. You are my essential factor, Solis, because you know, this planet's previous timekeeper never chose a son. There is no dawn here. There has never been a dawning, yet I feel that when I return to the sky, I will miss it all the same as if it has always been a part of my celestial life. Solis' expression breaks into a wide smile as he catches my meaning. He chuckles cheerily. So, it's unfair when the times are finally in my favor. It is. Even though you fluster me with ease. Even so. Solis laughs a bit before shifting, turning toward me further to slightly stroke my cheek. I think I can live with that. I reach for his hand and he interlaces our fingers together. Solis, may I kiss you? Please. When the moon fell in love with the sun, she never knew what sort of future awaited them. It was a future that we both fear, one that took more than a century to forge into the strongest love. I watched as Solis rose each day and fell each night, and waited for the day where we would meet again. When the stars would align and give us 10 more days of love. When the celestial bodies would gather to dance. Where I could see Solis again and hold him in my arms in the hazy mist of the future. Now draw Solis ending. 10 steps closer, no steps back. Aww. I guess so. It was not the best ending. We were friends. In a way, it is. But we're not. We didn't know each other well enough for the best ending. That's too bad, but it's not a really bad ending at all. So I think it's fine. Yes, I insist. This one is another change. Yes, I insist. Insist. I don't see why not. You've always brought me home. Out of a desire on my part, not by request. Is it sure it's not out of obligation? I see. Well, you're welcome to go a little further than my room. Fine. Thank you. And it's the same. You were a bit much. I think you were a little pompous, but that's alright. How is that alright? You grew from it, didn't you? That counts for something in my book. Thank you. Of course, you taught me something too, you know. I don't know how to word it without hurting him, but if anything, Solis helped me decide what kind of timekeeper I would want to be. His former behavior is something I'll never want to imitate, and imagine thinking of humans as he once did. I could never. But that's frustrating, despite the fact that it's true. I can only wonder how much he has grown from that point. How much more he has to roll. Solis, somehow, seems to pick up on my thoughts. I taught you a bit on how not to act, didn't I? I choose not to reply. Still, your example helps me realize how lonely being a celestial can be, and how I didn't want that not just for myself, but for you. And skip that. That's very kind of you. I don't have the heart to correct their misunderstanding. He's so eager to be of assistance that I'm happy to accept it, even if that wasn't my intent. Thank you. And skip that. I'm not sure what I want to say. In honesty, I'm not sure what I want to say. To me or in general. Is both a good answer? I'm not sure, but it's certainly the correct one. More in general than anything. My thoughts aren't particularly cheery right now, and thinking of a past I left behind isn't helping. Thinking of him isn't particularly helpful either, but wisely, I omit that thought from the words I say aloud. Do you mean as a celestial or as a human? A human. I don't have any more to say on that matter, but I appreciate you listening. There is no need to be so thankful. I, for one, feel touched that you even share this much. It's strange to think about. Belle always said that maybe they'll somehow return to me if I wanted them badly enough. But it's knocking at the door. At first, I don't register the sound. But the moment I do, I call out. Who is it? It's Solis. I've come to wake you. Are you decent? I yawned quietly, my stomach twisted nervously at the sound of Solis' voice. I will be after I get ready for the day. My apologies. I know it's early, but tomorrow we will return to our celestial bodies and I wanted to speak with you before then. I see. I'm glad to know we're on the same page. Would you mind meeting me in my office? I nod slowly, forgetting for a moment that he cannot see me. Your Grace? Yes, sorry. I will meet you there. Nice and clean, I leave my room only to find the hall empty. Dread fills my chest as I approach Solis' office. If he was going to confess, wouldn't he have invited me somewhere prettier? I swallow, then knock lightly on the door. Come in. I enter the room with uncertainty in my steps, but Solis smiles at me as though things are completely normal between us. Just like that, my heart calms in the light of his smile. Oh, never mind. You can start. It seems we're both in and out of sync at the same time. No, it's alright. I don't mind you starting. No, I insist. We look at each other and laugh a little. We're both being... He looks momentarily at a loss for words. Polish? I would have said formal. It seems you two default into formality when there is nothing to be said. So it seems. I did want to ask you though. What did you do yesterday? Solis lifts an eyebrow playfully. So your ulterior motives have shown themselves at last. Worry not, Your Grace. I will indulge them. Yesterday I was busy formally rejecting requests from other moons who attended their celestial balls. I also made a trip to the library to research on the celestial bears. Solis signs. I attempted to reject them a bit more informally after my second encounter with you, but some were rather persistent. Second encounter? You mean when I jilted you? Yes. I was curious about this bold new moon who so eloquently informed me that my entire worldview was wrong. I would be thanking you once again, but I have a feeling that will lead to a cycle of politeness. He smiles brightly, but I nod my head in agreement. You're not wrong. In any case, may I ask you a question? Yes, of course. Why did you research celestial bears? Yes, that. Your Grace, please, take a seat. I do as he asks, uncertain of what he is about to say. He takes a deep breath. As a new celestial, you are beyond competent. Beautiful, strong-willed, and even having chosen to dance with me, I didn't dare ask for you. I have loved, adored even, the time that we have spent together. There it is, the word that fills me with dread. Unsaid, yet present is a single word. I say it softly. But I do not believe we are compatible. I told you once that I have never bared with a moon. But my personality is one of the reasons why. And I have you to thank for helping me make much needed adjustments. However, I have been thinking, being a lord is a gift that I must appreciate. To turn my back on my status for just every century is beautiful for some. I fear it will not be beautiful for me. What if we do not draw closer? What if our relationship disintegrates? What if being with you is worse than being alone? I stand frozen as he speaks, his voice warm and cordial with words so cold that I am certain my fingertips are blue. And thus I am rejected. And thus you are respected. You too could be happier without. Please, spare me the eloquence, Lord Solis. I understand. I am not good enough for you to take a risk on. Solis looks shocked at their accusation. He sputters for a moment. That is certainly a way to see it, yes, but he trails off. Well, I did research for a reason. There are other star celestials I could introduce you to. Those words hurt more than his rejection. I feel my eyes growing hard as I clench my hands into fists. No, thank you, Lord Solis. If that be all. I turn on my heel and leave quickly before Solis can see my tears. And the tears do come, in a private place where no one can see them. Returning to my true luminous form is a relief after that. There, in the sky, I can watch over my world as a distance, where no one can hurt me. There, in the sky, I can light up the darkness that threatens to overtake my heart. There, in this darkness, I am furthest from the one that could have lit up my sky. I descend upon my planet once every 100 years to mingle with the humans I love so dearly. They bring me joy as they always have, and with their humanity, bring my heart back from the dead. Never will I cry those tears again, and never will I open my heart to another, as long as my moon shall live. Past Solis ending, eclipsed by love. I'm sorry, Ilona. I feel so bad. Don't worry. Third time's the charm. I will try my best. This time you will get the happy ending that you received. Let's go. So I'm going to go ahead and think of focus on their two choices right now. So thank him. I see. Thank you. It's nothing truly. Helping someone worthy of the title such as yourself is not only my duty, but also my honor. An unpleasant thought comes from the back of my mind. What if I wasn't deemed worthy? Would he still treat me with such kindness? Since the last time I chose to be polite and ask for consent to hold his hand, let's do it yourself. Ourselves, like sneaky hand over that hand. Take his hand slowly. Slowly, I reach for Solis' hand. I'm not sure how to ask him, so I figure if he pulls back, I'll be content. Content isn't the right word actually. It's more along the lines of understanding. But what I don't expect is for him to meet me halfway. As for our fingers to interlace. Ooh, nice. Hand holding, hand holding. Thank you. I simply did as I pleased. I don't know how to decipher those words, so I choose not to. I still am not sure if Solis and I are on the same page, or if we ever will be. I want to be, but we still haven't discussed the elephant in the room. If I'm being honest, I'm afraid to. I'm afraid to lose this fragile connection we're forming. Now that that's settled, shall we get going? Fuzzy, fuzzy. Fuzzy, fuzzy. I think asking, like being more assertive in the relationship should be good. Maybe I was too polite in the last playthrough. Can I help you along? And being a bit more noisy, more teasing? Is Belle the exception? But you weren't Robert or Val. I blurted out without thinking, and immediately regretted as I see Solis' crestfallen expression. It's another thing the two of us haven't talked about, and while I expected that we would eventually discuss it, I didn't think it would be so soon. Not Solis, however, simply sighs and rests his head on his hand. He looks ashamed and resigned at the same time. I was not, and why I do not understand a man who would keep up his duty the way he did. I should not have lost my temper like that. I just wanted your first celestial gathering to be perfect, and for him to dress in such a slovenly way. It felt like a slap in the face to all of my revelations. Wait, you were arguing about his dress and grooming because of me? Lord Solis nodded slowly. Yes, I am sorry for losing my temper. It was impolite and most unbecoming. We had one brief encounter after I escorted you to your room that night, and it was rather strange. Before, we both would have been content to ignore each other and continue on our way, but something stopped me, and that stopped him, so we talked. You talked? That's news to me. Val had mentioned nothing of the kind when we spoke to each other. The Sun Lord throws up at that, but quickly collects himself. Celestial manners and what it means to be one. I don't believe we will ever understand each other, but if there is one thing I know how to be, it's civil. That is all I can ask for when it comes to him. I see. Are you disappointed? No, I'm relieved. Bill is important to me and you are too. I understand that you're very different, but I'm grateful to hear that you're determined to not argue anymore. Lord Solis stands up and outstretches his hand. Lord Solis? It seems that although I asked you to my office, I prefer to walk about the castle for a bit. Depends on their personality for the three choice option. Since it did mention on their game page. And this one is where I'll allow you to stay. Say that to his face. Be assertive. Be assertive. I'll allow you to stay. I don't think that's quite right. And Yes, we got the ending. Oh. Waking up is a small journey in itself. I hear the sound of light knocking at the door. At first, I don't register the sound, but the moment I do, I call out. Who is it? Good day, Lady Luna. I've come to serve you breakfast by order of Lord Solis. I sit up immediately, my stomach twisting. Maybe from hunger, maybe from excitement. A cart is brought in full of various desserts, surprising me. I look over the array of foods, my eyes trailing towards the human setting up the meal. Excuse me? Yes, Your Grace? Will Solis be joining me? The servant shakes her hand. I'm afraid Lord Solis is occupied, but he did inform me to tell you to meet him in the gardens once you are full. I nod in thanks. As they go, I face the food. I can't eat fast enough. When I approach the garden, Solis' back is turned toward me. I slow down as I draw closer. Solis? I say his name softly, without title, and right away, the Celestial turns toward me. His hair is loose, the beautiful curves hallowing his face like the celestial body he embodies. A lot of hair, really fluffy. Hey, Luna. He replies my name in a voice that is so tender that my heart aches. In the garden, Solis looks especially brilliant on this day, and for a moment, I cannot tell if I am blinded by my own love-struck vision, or if he really is glowing just that brightly. Since when have you been able to call me so directly by name? I have been practicing. I smile warmly. Maybe because I'm not yet used to all of the formality that comes with being around other Celestials. But saying Solis' name is something I struggle with much less. It is, like most things he says and does, endearing. How long did it take you before you could say my name freely? You do not wish to know, I promise you. Solis draws close to me until we are face to face. I will not make you wait any longer. I have thought your proposal through thoroughly. And what do you think? In all honesty, I think you have poor taste. Solis shakes his head, but when he looks down at me, it's with a dazzling smile. I must make an admission, however. I am afraid more than I have ever been of anything. Why? I have always been a paragon of self-control. I never let feelings get in front of duty. I always managed to keep my tempo level for the most part. But if we do this, I will have to give you a piece of myself. That frightens me, Your Grace. I look at him with worried eyes. Then, does that mean this is it? You will let me go? It does not. It means I will have to hold on to you more firmly than ever. I must, because I know your worth. I hate to be so vulnerable, but I cannot help it. I want to know. How do you feel about me? Solis sputters for a moment, his ears glowing red. Have I not said enough? You
poured your you poured out your heart to me, but there's a tiny little drop left.
A drop?
I want to hear those words from you. Solis hems and haws before finally scoffing aloud in spite of his glowing ears.
I can say it, but not when you're looking at me with that gaze.
I lift an eyebrow, amused by their distraction. Gaze?
When you look at me with those eyes, it's unnerving.
I tilt my head. So my gaze intimidates you. He shakes his head.
No. It's the way that such looks make me feel.
Which is? Solis blusters for another long moment before staring at me indignantly.
You are playing the fool, I'm afraid, and you are far from it.
I'm simply asking you for confirmation. Solis nods slowly as he pulls back his hair, biting the beautiful curls behind him.
Formality is my personal preferred style of communication. So let me say this. I'm falling in love with you.
Nice! Lovely, let me check out the CG. Oh, that's lovely. Though their art style is a bit different from their sprites, but then some of their the big like the TVs and stuff are also a little different, as a different style from this. So maybe there's 3 artists. Maybe I don't remember. I have to check their credit page.
In fact, I think I'm getting closer and closer to simply loving you each day. I wish to know your every opinion, no matter how small. I wish to please you so that I might never be avoided again. But more than anything, I simply want to be at your side through every day and turn.
That means a lot to me. Thank you, Solis.
Thank you, Ilona.
My name on his lips is like music. I look at Solis right into his eyes. For the first time, it feels like he and I are in sync. For the first time, it feels like he and I are in sync. I know exactly what he wants. I know because my thoughts are reflected in his eyes as he leans forward slowly. His lips gently brush against mine, a mere tickle of anticipation. He is still looking into my eyes. Their expression there so earnest and bright. I feel like I'm being blinded by the sun itself.
I want to kiss you, Your Grace. You cannot imagine how badly.
There's nothing stopping you.
Is that so?
He reaches out with hands that I notice are trembling as they gently cup my face. Leaning down, Solis gently presses his mouth to mine, as though if he touches me any more firmly, I'll break. He is so tender with his touches that I almost regret making him say he is falling for me. Almost, because with a touch as soft as this, each stroke of his lips says the words that he could not say. He angles his head to deepen the kiss, but I pull away breathlessly. Immediately, his eyes dropped open.
My apologies. I got carried away and
I I let out a quiet laugh, pressing my forehead to his. Don't apologize. How long have you been holding that in? Solis avoids my gaze, but I gently tilt his head back towards mine. If I told you, it would only bring me shame. That long, huh? I refuse to confirm or deny. We smile at each other, and for a moment, my heart aches. How can I leave this form for another century? As if he reads my mind, Solis strokes my cheek gently. It'll pass like a day. He murmurs the words as though he is trying to convince himself more than me. I can only hope that he is right. I love lonely nights. The nights where I find myself wondering if giving up everything was worth it. When the silence is suffocating and the world below feels so far away. When the sky feels as though there are no friends glittering in the distance. I love them all because those are the nights that my memories of you are the strongest. I open my eyes and watch the dawn from my spot in the garden. Soon Solis will come to me again. Soon the sun and the moon will be united and the world will glow and go. I cannot wait. Perfect Solis ending, golden in the sky. Nice. So we got a happy ending, though I'm a bit confused whether they actually become celestial bears. It looks like they do, but it kind of, the writing makes it feels like they don't, and it's like another century before they meet again. Then again, it could be they are a pair, but another century before they meet again, so yeah, they got together. Nice. So we got the perfect Solis ending after making Eluna suffer quite a bit. Oh dear. But anyway, we finished Solis route. Anyway, we have finished Solis route with O ending, and I struggle to make the happy ending for both of them. I'm really sorry, Luna. You suffer a lot. Imagine when you're trying to get a good ending, you get a bad ending instead. What a ride. But this is like four endings for Solis, so that should be the end of Solis route for Celestia. It was quite a gentle and nice ride, and I love their improvement, their character development between Solis and also Iluna, who learns a lot more about herself and to make herself develop better, in a sense. And an overall review of the playthrough for Celestia Solis route. I thought it was very gentle, the way that Eluna and Solis got to know each other, how Solis changed. I like that despite he is kind of kind of pompous at the beginning, he is willing to change. I thought there is a positive personality characteristics in that negative characteristics, which is really great at him. And Ilona is quite a strong-willed lady to be able to speak out to and change the man through. You could say their romance is quite traditional as is promoted in their game page. It is a gentle flow of love
it begins with a little conflict. It is not like enemies turn lovers, but it's more like bonding and growing closer through conflicts to a mature mindset between two adults who wishes to learn and understand the other opinions, the other person's side, and grow together. And that kind of relationship is quite mature. I love it. Though I do notice that if you get a bad ending, the Los Solis is super cool because you could go all the way through the storyline, all looking at the hands and all the cute stuff about holding hands, talking to each other, participating in events together, and all the cute stuff. But in the end, he was just politely rejected you, said, "We are not suited for each other," which is fine. It's fine. There is a kind of something politely cool about that in a sense for Solis. Imagine someone who keeps smiling at you and you thought you got closer to him. So you feel more comfortable in expressing yourself, and it turns out you just do it for politeness. That's gonna be quite painful, isn't it? But it is who it is. So very mature. But the politeness and the maturity also hurts a lot, as you can imagine. How it happened to Ilana. Maybe it will happen the same for other raps. I don't know. Their music is fine. I don't find anything special about the music, but it is quite simple and fits with the theme, and I think that is good enough. And as I mentioned earlier, the art was lovely. It was a mixture of a lot of art style, I believe. A lot of art style. The sprite is a bit different. Some of the chibi, the smaller chibis and stuff is a bit different in a sense. And you can see on their menu screen, their art is kind of different. In the last CG, or their perfect and CG for Solis and Iluna is also different. So I don't mind it. It still fits the character. It's just there's a inconsistency between the art. And next to their sprite and art style, the UI was fine. You can see here, it suits their theme of galaxy and star sky, and their action part is also specially designed. You can see our protagonist standing there, looking pretty. You can even change the font too. Not sure how it changes, but I think it's still the same font. Okay. And that should be all for the playthrough of Celestia for this playthrough. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next game. Bye bye.